is you were telling me the issue with something as simple as
oh yeah.
mask.
Hold on. I need you. I need you when things come back to the new normal and we don't need to wear a mask or everybody don't gotta wear a mask. Sir, I'm gonna need you to wear the mask first. So I need you to take it down slowly. slow. Because the forehead does a lot for me. And the eyes, but hold on now, I gotta see that nose. And if it I don't gotta say nobody. I'm gonna be quiet. I ain't gonna
because Jayda told me the other day, she said, Mom, now I gotta put up with, he might be fine up here, but something might be, now that's something else. She said, I'm just gonna go to school. And I'm thinking to myself, yes. Welcome to Black Women's World Podcast, the BWWP, where we get VIP access into the lives of Black women, or as we like to call us here, our Sister Nistas. We get to hear from some of our favorite Sister Nistas as they share their worlds with us and create connections, exchange realities, ideas, and baby, we get to recognize and celebrate how powerful we really are. Our sisterhood here is real, filled with peace, wisdom, hope, love, light, and laughter. You know, the kind you can feel, the kind of encouragement that confirms we can do anything because we have, and the kind of inspiration that proves we can be even greater. This is our world, where if you ain't a Black woman, you may want to be one, or definitely get to know one. It's a Black women's world, and we welcome our Sister Nista lovers too. Welcome to our queendom. I'm your self-discovery companion, your professional peacemaker, and I'm your host, TracyMac. Come on in and relax and sit with me for just a little while. Peace. Well, hello everybody. I am TracyMac, your self-discovery companion, your professional peacemaker, and host of Black Women's World Podcast. For those of you who can see the podcast right now, Jayda and I have my daughter with me, Jayda McNeil, my warm cake, with me on the podcast, but we are rolling. We are live and remote right now in the car, which we spend a lot of time in the car. Hey, Jayda.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
I had to catch Jayda when I could while we're out and about because she has been so busy with school. Classes just finished on Thursday, and you have summer classes starting on Monday.
Yep.
Say hello to the people right quick.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm glad I'm a part of Black Women's World Podcast.
See, thank you for not mocking me this time like you do. But anyway, Sister Nistas and Sister Nista lovers all over the world. Listen, we pulled this week's numbers, and we want to say hello to our top 5 countries. We want to say hello to those in the United States. We want to say bonjour to those in France. We want to say oi to our audience in Brazil. Hi, konnichiwa. Ohayou gozaimasu to our audience in Japan. And Germany, hello to all of you. And to our top, what we got? We're going to do top 5 or 10 in the United States.
We do top 10. Or, no, let's do top 5.
Top 5? Okay, top 5. Texas, you're still coming in. San Antonio, Houston, and Live Oak, Texas. I've never heard of Live Oak, Texas. So hello, you all come in collectively as number 1. Number 2 is the ATL, Atlanta, Hotlanta. Hello to all of our Sister Nistas and Sister Nista lovers in the Atlanta area. Number 3, finally, North Carolina. Jayda, they came through.
Wow. They came through for the Black Women's World Podcast, baby.
Yes, baby. They came through. It took you long enough, but thank you. Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, even Kinston, North Carolina, and Havelock. That's where I grew up. Havelock, North Carolina. You all came through and hit our top 5. And Chicago is still there, but a new audience, a new market that we're in that's populating in our data is Manhattan. And another area, I think it was Q something, New York? I can't remember the exact name. But thank you, New York, for coming in. Chicago, y'all slipped a little, but we still love you. And of course, Ohio was on that list. I know you said 5, but I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So Jayda, I'm glad to have you literally in the seat. I had to get you where I could. I got you in the car. You can't get out. How are you?
I'm doing good. I cannot complain. How are you, Miss Lynn?
I'm good. I've had some tough news to deal with this week, but I'm getting through it.
That's good.
I'm getting through it. I'm trying to be resilient, and I know you do too, because many of you who don't know about Jayda's 20 years young now. Jayda's one of those miracle babies. I'd had a miscarriage prior to having Jayda. We had fertility issues, so I was on Clomid and still couldn't get pregnant. So On and I had been married 7 years, and I was told when I was 14 that I couldn't have any children. And so I never put that in my head. So I never had the fantasy of having a husband and 2 kids and all of that. So I even put the husband out of my fantasy because I knew the average man wanted children. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just live my best life. Even before the song came out.
Okay. I see what you did there.
Yeah, you see what I did? How you?
No.
Oh. Anyway, so when Owen and I did get married, and we were, assumed I couldn't have any children, we just lived. And it wasn't until after fertility treatments and stuff like that, we kind of, oh well, that's not working. And I was supposed to have a hysterectomy, and was scheduled for it, and ended up not having it ever. Because when I went in for the pre-op, guess who was on the monitor? Heartbeat was dum, 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 dum. They sent me home to have a miscarriage, but Jayda chose to live.
And I'm here today.
She is here today, alive and well. Jayda, you just celebrated the induction. Tell the people about that.
Yes, I am now part of Epsilon Tau Sigma Honor Society of Health Sciences at Winston-Salem State University.
Yes, and we are so proud. And how has it been? I know you had to maintain a high GPA, and you maintained a 3.4, and I know the final grades aren't out because you're hoping that audit will take it
to a 3.5.
But how has it been? We want to talk about a little bit about relationships, music, things me and Jayda talk about in the car all the time. That's why the car is a perfect place for us to be. From carpool to daycare to
everything. I would say, I don't know.
You don't know how it's been for school, the transition?
It's been a bittersweet, rocky road moment. From going to class, then going online. So it's different, but I learned how to adjust, and manage my time management skills as well for schoolwork and my fun time. So it was, a rocky road, but I managed to finish, and I did really good this semester.
You did, and even with the transition of being in the pandemic, I want to applaud you for that. And repping your school, what do you attend? What HBCU are you repping?
SU.
And you got to tell people, Jay, because I started out at Winston-Salem State back in 1987, and I was only there for a year. And I had left school, got caught up in working, bought a house, and never went back to school. I didn't finish my degree until 2012 at Winston International University in behavioral science. But tell people, Jayda, that I did not force you to go to Winston-Salem State, even though I'm glad you made the choice.
She did not. As soon as I got on the campus, I was like, I said, wait a minute, hold on. Versus all the other campuses I visit, I was like, Winston-Salem State University, I see what y'all doing. Y'all bringing in the family, the love, the open arms. And that's what I felt as soon as I went on the campus. So it's not because of her. I was like, I'm going to make this decision myself. And I think I made the best decision. Because I love Winston with all my heart. I love it.
And I'm proud of you because a lot of people do know your story. When Jayda was born, of course, we had a very difficult pregnancy. And Jayda didn't talk till she was fully until she was well into 3 years old. And it was tough as a mom because she had been diagnosed with cognitive delays and with her not talking, but she could still communicate. And I would catch a lot of hell from people because I would let Jayda make choices, non-verbal choices. And they said, she's too young. You shouldn't let her have a say in what she's going to eat or what she's going to wear. But little did they know that was the only way I could communicate with my baby. You know, at one time, Owen was in Iraq fighting war. And then we lived in Japan. And when we first got to Japan, his ops tempo and my ops tempo. So Jayda and I were alone a lot. And I was trying to figure out a way because she wouldn't talk to get her to communicate. So I let her make choices. And down to Jayda, which dress do you want to wear? Even if she just pointed to it. Or go pick out some shoes that matches this. And we'd be in the store. I said, you want the orange high C or the fruit punch? And, you know, people say, you shouldn't let her decide. But it was how we...
Right, it's how we communicated.
And I think I want to attribute me letting you make decisions to you being good at making decisions. Now you're a great critical thinker, and yeah, and even your success in school, I'm so proud because I think a lot of people think that because you've made honor roll even in high school and that you succeed in Dean's List worthy grades now in college that the dyslexia that you were diagnosed with in third grade, fully severe dyslexia, some people think it goes away. Talk about that for a minute.
It doesn't. There are still difficulties that I face in my classes or in schoolwork and stuff. So I'll never forget what my professor told me last year. He told me, he said, it's not always about the letter grade, it's about how you understand or if you understand the material. So that's what I always had to think about is, do I understand the material? Or am I just trying to get this for a letter grade? So it's you know, it's still hard because sometimes I study 2 times or more hours than my average group of friends, and they study less than me and they get a higher grade. But I'm like, wow, I studied all this time and y'all get a higher grade. But you know what? Do I understand the material in the long run? Yes. I'm not saying they don't, but I understand the material. So that's what is really important to me about school and you know, trying to overcome my difficulties with dyslexia and stuff.
Yeah, I like that you said that, Jayda, because I remember you telling me when your professor said you can't guess on patients.
Dr. Steve.
What's your degree in?
Exercise science, or you know, Bachelor of Science is the degree I will graduate with.
So yeah, you can't guess, so you're able to absorb. So it's different between you know, being familiar with the information and knowing it. And I'm glad that you have developed your own, because you still do a lot of things by hand. You know?
Like I take notes by hand instead of on, like, you know, tablets or the computer. If I have a type of paper, of course I'm going to type it. But normally if I have to take notes, it's always on pen and paper because it sinks in better for me to understand. So...
Yeah, and but yeah, I'm proud. You know, I'm proud of you, and you know, I won't forget. I'm proud of her, and I wanted her to enjoy the college life. You know, I've always said, Jayda, adulting is hard, and once you start, you can't pull that junk back.
Yeah.
And so it's like, Jayda, don't try to grow up too fast. When she was in high school, and her friends would say, I can't wait till I get out of high school.
I was like, hold on. I said, wait a minute. In my head, I'm like, okay, and so what's gonna happen after? Like, you know, you're 18, you're by yourself. Okay, great. It's not gonna last long forever, but all right.
Yeah. And so in college, you know, I was like, Jayda, when you get on the yard, live. You know, I was scared because, you know, my daddy was this preacher, you know, and he raised kind of, you know, sheltered, and so I was scared. So I was like, Jayda, I give you me and your dad give you a lot more freedom than I was given, and enjoy it. You know, don't get caught up in no crap, you know, but enjoy it. And so I never forget homecoming freshman year, my husband and I, Owen, we were we went going to attend homecoming, and I said, Owen, I don't want to cramp Jayda's style. You know, we want to go just to support the school and just, you know, see a good game.
I regret my decision already.
Oh, I ain't even finished telling the story.
I just regret it because I can see it.
But I said, you know, Owen, let's we're gonna go speak to Jayda, but we're gonna leave her alone. We want to cramp her style. The weather was perfect, just cool enough to need a jacket. You know, the band had been playing. You know, ain't nothing like an HBCU band. And it was activity on the... Where you got your...
So I'm embarrassed.
Activity on the yard. You know, they got food trucks, and you seeing, you know, I wasn't a Delta when I was at Winston State, but, you know, now being a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, in the Ace Club, I went to the plot, you know, and I saw other Deltas and met some of my sorors, and, you know, saw some of my people that were there when I was there. And I'm like, you know, let's go see Jayda and hit it and quit it. Her friends out on the yard having fun. Where is my child? Where's my child? Jayda, confess.
I was in my room asleep. And then I came out with a sweatshirt, a hat, and some sweatpants, some Crocs, and walked right to the yard, walked right to the clock tower, and took pictures like nobody's business. I didn't care.
I said, Jayda, it's homecoming, y'all. You know the chant that we Salem State say.
OMECOING. It's homecoming,
y'all. It's homecoming, y'all. And I'm like, number one, you sleep. Number two, you can't just walk on the yard in Crocs and sweats and a cap.
It's the fact, because I came from a predominantly white high school. So when I came to HBCU, you know, I was a little late on the fashion. I'm seeing people, I'm like, oh my God, like, is this fashion week? Like, y'all are really dressed in like fur coats, minks, hats, Nikes. I was like, I'm wearing this, but I don't care. But I'm like, did I miss the memo? And I'm like, okay.
But that also goes back to not only was your high school predominantly white, but what you were involved in. You were very
athletic. So, and it still kind of sticks to me nowadays because I don't have an issue, but my fashion, I can't really figure it out. I can't really figure it out yet. If I want, something cute, street clothes. I'm a little confused with myself, so we're going to figure that out later on. But
I like that you choose to find out.
Yeah.
You don't allow yourself to be peer pressured into a lot of different things. Why do you think that is, Jay?
I don't know. I just think, being peer pressured, it depends who you are. I know with me, I don't want to follow someone into a negative path, and I'm going to be in a negative path with them. If I'm going to follow somebody, it's going to be positive. So I like being a lone wolf sometimes. But at the same time, it's like, hey, like, that's trending. I'm going to see how that works. I'm going to see if someone else do it and see if it works. Because if it don't, then I made a smart decision to follow the positive instead of the negative.
Yeah.
So
when I had asked Jayda some time ago to do a podcast, she's like, I ain't got time. And she didn't study in double time, involved in the mentorship program they have in Winston. She's a mentor called a legacy leader. And I don't want to pressure her, but time class was over, and I had to catch her in this window because she starts summer classes on Monday. So I was like, let me catch her. But we wanted, because Jayda and I talk all the time, and can talk just about anything.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Pretty much. When you tell your children, come talk to me about anything.
Some kids are some younger adults are just like, I'm not telling my mama that. I'm like, Mom, let me tell you what I did last week. Let me tell you what I did. She be like, okay.
My pearls. Because when I said you can come talk to me about anything, I didn't know you weren't going to hold nothing back. So even though I'm grateful, I'd be like, give me a minute.
let me catch my breath.
But, when we said when she would do the show, because some things we clash on, some things we connect because of the generation. I'm Generation X, and Jayda is
a Zennial, but they just going to classify us as Generation Z. So.
Right. So we said we were going to talk about X, Y, Z. And the differences and the similarities of the generations, because I think a lot of times both generations give each other bad rap. What do you think?
In my opinion, it's probably y'all more than us.
Talk about y'all.
Yeah, but some of us do talk about you guys, saying like, y'all old school, y'all don't know nothing.
Well, you're right. You're right, and I must tell you, because when I work with y'all. Professionally, you, my daughter, some of your friends that I talk to sometimes, I love y'all. I feel like I was born in the wrong generation. Either I should have been way back or now, because y'all are so accepting. You're so you got your little stuff that ain't quite right, but you accept people, even because in talking about sexuality and relationships, you and I talk about that a lot, boys and men and relationships. You know, I know I'm Christian, saved, love the Lord. Jayda, saved, love the Lord. But Jayda has a lot of friends who have different sexual orientations, and LGBTQAI plus, you know, and they're so accepting. My generation, we tend to, no matter your beliefs, set people at arm's length because they have a sexual preference, as if they want you.
Because it's not that.
Yeah, half the time they're not oversexed or nymphomaniacs because they, you know, like same sex or bi or whatever. Sometimes they don't even want to. So it's not about the sex. It just happens to be their preference. And so I approach people like, can we get the job done?
Exactly.
What you want to do? So talk about that.
I would say, with me, like I said, I'm very accepted with my friend groups that are part of the LGBTQ plus community. I'm always supportive of them. And like you said before, I think of it like this. If you are heterosexual or you are straight, it's the same thing. Like if you see a dude and he look at you like, oh, he liked me. No, he's just probably looking at something wrong with your shoe. So, I mean, it's the same thing with, you know, their community. Just because they're lesbian, gay, bisexual, or etc. does not mean they're just attracted to you. That's not true. So,
and then as it pertains to relationships, so we contrast in certain things, and then we're alike. So as it pertains to relationships, what's your current relationship status?
Single.
Are you living a
single in a 90s kind of world? I'm glad I got. Y'all about to go in. I'm about to go in. Oh, that's right. Tight like glue. Yeah.
Oh God, off. But yeah, because in even with that, Jayda, music. Oh my God, we'll go back to relationship, but music. My mom was instrumental in my life with music. So was my Aunt Mary, my Aunt Teresa. They shared music with me. My relationship with God, the bedrock of that comes through a lot of music and prayer and scriptures and all that, but music. And so I remember one day, and my husband Owen likes music. He can't sing and whatever, but he loves music too, but not as much as I do. And me and Jayda listen to music loud. And so sometimes we jockey for position in the house because whoever turns their music on first. Most of the time we like it enough that we don't have to battle. And but one day I was cleaning up, and Jayda was cleaning up another part of the house, and I heard this music, and she was more about maybe 13, 14, maybe a little older, but I can't
think
remember.
Probably like 14.
And I'm listening, and I'm like, okay, I know Owen isn't home, and I hear, hey there, lonely girl, let me make your broken heart like new. And I'm like, and then I heard the OJs, and I heard the Shy-Lights, and I heard some Shaka Khan, and I said, Jayda, you like old school music? And she said,
yeah. Oh, love me some late 60s, 70s, and a little bit of that early 80s. Woo! It just do something to you. It's just something about that. Just the way they sing, it's like it hits you. It hits you. It's like I was there. You know, like I feel like I was there. Like I saw them live when I was on Soul Train or something. Like I saw the OJs performing. I saw them. The smile on your face. I saw it. I was there. Backstab. I saw them.
You saw it.
I saw them.
There. Yeah,
I saw them.
You had to, because I'm like, no, we love gospel, and we got some gospel tunes that, you know, is our favorite. One of ours, Jesus Will Take Care of Me, and, you know, just certain things. But I'm like, my child loves old school music. Now, she keeps me in the know for the most part. I'm aware, you know, rap came out in the 80s when I was her age and younger. But like trap and all of that, Jayda keeps me in the know. Now, I can get with a beat. I can get with any kind of genre music, but I can't get with the lyrics. Especially,
let's talk about what happened yesterday.
What?
I'll let you listen to Nicki Minaj.
a mess.
No,
A whole
because
mess.
look, I told her, I said, Mom, I know how you feel about the words, okay? But I just need you to hear this beat. And you gotta admit, the beat was
The beat was
nice.
as y'all say, fire. The beat was.
It was nice.
The beat was.
But when the words started, I said in my head, I'm like, oh Lord, here she goes.
She said something at one point, and I was like, I ain't Catholic, but I'm thinking, where's the cross, Jesus? We need to anoint our ears with oil and cast, because and I'm please don't any judgment. If you love Nicki Minaj or whoever, there's some of these people that, you know, and it's explicit lyrics in and of itself don't necessarily bother me, and that's a whole nother conversation.
I think it was just a combination of how they were arranged.
But and then some of this, I can't even understand what they're saying sometimes.
Okay, so listen, I can say this. Sometimes I don't understand what they're saying either, but it's better to listen to those type of music if you're with the same age group, and also if you're at a party or an event, because everyone's gonna be lit, like pretty hype and stuff. But if, like, one day I was cleaning up my bathroom and I was listening to some rap music, and I was like, why would he put that in the song? Like, you know, it's one of them things, like, if you're just cleaning up, like, you know, when
when you got time to think
you
and
know,
listen.
when you turn on the TV and it used to be smooth jazz or like, you know, some gospel music, it's time for us to clean up. Yeah. So I was trying to do rap, and I just no R&B, maybe 70s, you know, those work. But
you're telling on me.
Music does not. I repeat, trap music should not really be played when you are cleaning by yourself. You can clean up with other people, that's fine. By yourself.
Stay tuned for more of the BWWP.
An Amazon best-selling author with an Arc Book Club Incorporated 5-star rating and your self-discovery companion, TracyMac is setting positive change ablaze with her 3 incredible books. Well, it's all about relationships, yours, mine, and ours. In her book, Relationships, Nothing But the Truth, TracyMac brings her signature style along with some of her most cherished relationships, talking about true experiences and many perspectives, openly and honestly, sharing intriguing stories from the provocative and controversial to the seemingly ordinary and outright funny. Your solution has arrived. If you are ready to live an amazing life of change with sustainable results and measurable success, get your copy of one or all 3 of these awesome books where fine books are sold today to start your journey.
You've been listening to Black Women's World Podcast. Let's continue the conversation.
I mean, music, different genres bring out different things. Like, I listen to what people may think is ratchet when I'm working out. I need something hard and heavy to keep me going, because I already don't want to be on the treadmill. So what's going to keep me motivated and going? You know, I can't listen to smooth jazz, R&B. Sometimes I can listen to gospel. It depends on who it is. But, you know, and so that's what we're alike on the music. But when we're not alike when it comes to dancing.
Oh, yeah, because...
So Generation X, me, wise, and that has to do with personality too, because our dances were different. You know, they were cool. I knew how to do I could not go out. Very strict parents, could not go out to dance, even though I did sneak one time, and my siblings would go out. But but I knew how to do all the dances. I just had to do them in my room. But as I've gotten older, I just 2-step, hand dance, and when it comes to church, I can get my shout on. You know, I can get my. How about that time I was trying to teach Jayda how to shout?
Y'all, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I tried.
This girl can do every dance. She can do all this stuff on TikTok. She was involved in dance in school. She can get down. But when it comes to the holy dance, I said...
That's just one thing I wish I could get. I really wish I could get it. I watched some videos of people even doing... Like, you know, is it like, you know, 2-stepping? I mean, not 2-stepping, but, you know.
I told her, I said,
clogging.
Jayda, you're going to have to be like Shirley Caesar. The story she told when she was, playing with God. And at one point when the Holy Ghost hit her mama said she ain't playing this time. I said, see, that's going to happen with you. It's going to hit you one time and you just going to go. I said, so, but we praise God in different ways. But, old school.
I just be admiring people. I'm like, oh, I wish. Just sitting on the sidelines, just watching y'all.
But yeah, so we're, not alike in that. But, when it comes to, we were talking about, the music we got now in relationships and you saying, not being in a relationship. I didn't have my first serious relationship until in my early 20s. I think I might have been 20.
So you trying to say something like, it's for history gonna repeat itself? Is he out there?
I don't know where he is. But we're kind of the same because I didn't have an issue. I never was impressed by guys. Guys were my friends. Even though my girlfriends in high school, I had more girlfriends, but I don't know if it's because of the influence of my brother or my dad. I wasn't impressed with guys. I just had this thing that I still have now, that men, when I meet a man, he's neutered to me. I see him just like I do a woman. Hey, how you doing? Until something changes. So I'm not looking at meeting a man as an opportunity or, I'm like, hey, how you doing? And that has been to a fault in some cases where some men took offense that I didn't seem interested back in the day. I didn't even get asked to my prom,
It's okay, me neither.
See? I didn't get asked to the prom. My prom night, I spent down on Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. I borrowed a friend's car. I had my blanket, my boom box, some D batteries, and my journal. And I made the best of it. And I don't even think I thought twice because boys weren't interested in me. My dad wasn't going to let me. Oh, that's a whole nother. At least your daddy is open.
My dad tried to be friends with him. Like, at graduation party, one of my friends, hey, you saw the game last night? I'm like, Dad, what?
Yeah, and just the opposite. Because even think about time.
Yeah.
Because I remember I couldn't talk to boys on the phone. Even though I had jobs working in high school, 15 years old working. My dad, I couldn't talk to boys. Couldn't even answer the phone. If my dad and mom were home, they answered the phone. We could only answer the phone if they weren't at home. And my dad would answer the phone. Hello, praise the Lord. Bishop, preacher, And I remember one day a boy called. I kind of talked to him a couple times in person. And I didn't know he was going to call. Because had I known he was going to call, I'd have been like, don't.
Call my job or something. Like, I'll say,
Write me a letter.
Yeah.
Do not call. But he called the house one day. My dad, hello, praise the Lord, Jones residence. And my dad said, Tracy, you calling for Tracy? Well, who are you? Do you go to church? And I'm just like embarrassed. I wanted the floor to just swallow me whole. And he said, no, you don't go to my church. Who's your pastor? And he talked. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I think I may know. Yeah, I think I know you. Oh, yes. Oh, your mom and daddy raising you right. So I'm hearing and I'm getting hopeful like, I'm going to get to talk to this boy on the phone. So I left out of the room for just a minute and went and checked my hair in the mirror and put some chapstick on. And I snuck back in because I don't want my dad to think that I was trying to get cute and be fast, So he's still talking for about 10 minutes. Next thing I know, he says, yeah. Well, young man, it's good talking to you. Really good talking to you. Yeah, you keep living for the Lord. Well, Tracy can't take calls from boys. Click up.
That's so sad.
Okay. And I said, why did you do that? I'm gonna die. My dad looked at me. He said, no, you won't. You shall live and not die, said the Lord. True story. So how is that different now?
I would say I would say for dating wise, it is difficult because we have dating apps and that doesn't work for me.
It doesn't. Okay, why not?
I have to feel the person. I have to see them, like really see them, because like behind the screen.
You mean like feel?
Yeah,
I
mean, yeah, but I no, I don't gotta touch you. I just need to see you.
Oh, you mean like being there?
Yeah,
because you gotta be able to read them.
Yeah, because I got to see the aura. I got to see what I'm working with. Because
Their
if
spirit.
your spirit is not here, like you could be fine as get up. I don't care. But your personality and it's something about you ain't right. So, like, you know, when you're at the airport and people that be scanning you, what they call
the metal detector.
Yeah, the people, you know, I'm like,
Okay.
boop, 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 boop. All right, keep moving. Boop, 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 boop. Get over there. No.
You ain't with it, so you can't just swipe on Tinder and
I'll keep, you know how many times I swipe left? Keep going left. I just can't do
But
it.
do you think, okay, generationally speaking, I know even women who I know my age who find it difficult dating, and then when I do try to tell them, because I've never had a bad relationship with a man, never. Even when I got my heart broken, I didn't stay in the relationship. So when I got my heart broken, it was over. So the relationship wasn't bad. I had a bad moment and left. To a fault, because sometimes I may have left too early because I read a situation wrong and I bounced quick, you know, but at the same time, it was about that read, you know, that being able to is this, you know, working. So but I've had women tell me, you know, well, Tracy, you can't really tell me nothing because you've been married too long. And I'm like, ain't that the point?
Yeah, because you know, I'm gonna keep my mouth closed.
But I kind of get what they're saying in a sense. But men and women haven't really changed. The game has changed a little bit, or when people choose to play games, have changed a little bit. But for the most part, I'm like, okay, so you know, guys and boys and what else? So Generation X, Y, what Generation Z say?
Everybody on social media want to be like somebody. You see people going on vacation with their boo saying, I got my board tickets, taking pictures at waterfalls. I'm like, ooh, that is so pretty. Excuse me, sir, move out the way. I want the tickets. I don't know. I mean, you cool too, but like, I want the tickets. Y'all.
So you just want to go to Bora Bora. You don't need the vacation.
I mean, it don't hurt, but I'm just saying, you know. I mean, people on social media.
But on a serious tip, do you ever feel like, because you have friends who have had multiple different, you know, relationships with, you know, one person at a time. Do you ever feel left out or oddball?
Well, I wasn't really a person to be looked at as that girl in high school. So
why not?
They called me. Oh yeah, I was like one of my friends. He told me, he was like, you know, you cool, like you look like real good now and stuff. Like in high school, like you were one of the bros. I was like,
okay.
What's
is that
good?
because
like, you
of
know,
how you carried yourself? Why
I just think
I was friend zoned.
I think it was because I was the easy person to talk to, and plus I was in sports medicine program at the school as an athletic trainer.
Okay.
And I was like, you know, just had a cool relationship with dudes, and plus, I guess I'm always known to be funny. So my comedy can be taken lightly, like, you know, good joke, pal. I'm like, that wasn't a joke. I was trying to flirt. Like, what in the world? It just doesn't work.
They taking it as a joke, and you was trying to get.
I'm like, I like that little. I like
trying to shoot your shot.
Yeah, like I like your shoes. Like they got them in the size so and so. Like,
so you get friend zone before friend zone.
So then when I got to college, you know, and plus I went, like I said before, I went to a predominantly white school, so of course like a lot more African American guys will, you know, go for the white girls. I mean, that's their preference. I ain't got anything against that.
That was happening when I was in high school too. I don't know if I won't air to say that it was dominant, but we did have a lot of interracial relationships because military base and whatever.
So when I got to Winston-Salem, I said, hold on. I see you, okay? Hey. So then for a while,
brothers on the yard
was looking like, I said, hold on, dark chocolate, light chocolate, brown chocolate, you got white chocolate, you got caramel. I was like, hold on now, y'all got all kinds. You got the Wonder Wonka chocolate factory.
Help my child, I pray Right now, you help my child. Help the Lord. I always pray.
But for a while, like my first semester of freshman year, I was, I'm not saying I am being
What?
The word.
Fast?
Yes.
Oh.
I was not being fast. They were just attracted to me. So I used to, I like, they had little not relationships, but they call them situationships. It's not a relationship, but
Y'all
people know.
Okay, so explain. Generation X, a situation. You're not committed.
It's like you're not committed.
You're still trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
Okay,
but like you shouldn't be messing with nobody. It's too much.
Okay,
but I had a little bit of a situationship with some guys, and I was like, oh, okay, so and so. But then after a while, I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Glad I didn't have this type of clout in high school.
Okay.
Because this is no.
Okay.
I wasn't really feeling that.
Okay.
So I just started to back up a little bit. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just take a break for a while from trying to talk to guys, and I'll kind of get annoyed, because the pickup lines were corny, and like before it was like, ooh, okay, I see what you got. No, what are you? Or what are you, 12? Like I just it's one of those things. So I think my maturity level has, caught up with me.
Yeah, and then the other thing you all have, Generation Z, millennials, really anybody now, is you were telling me the issue with something as simple as a mask.
Hold on, I need you. I need you when things come back to the new normal and we don't need to wear a mask, or everybody don't gotta wear a mask. Sir, I'm gonna need you to wear the mask first, so I need you to take it down slowly, slow, because the forehead does a lot for me, and the eyes. But hold on now, I gotta see that nose, and I don't gotta say nobody. I'm gonna be quiet. Cause I ain't gonna talk about
because
somebody.
Jayda told me the other day, she said, Mom, now I gotta put up with, he might be fine up here, but something might be, now that's something else. She said, I'm just gonna go to school. And I'm thinking to myself, yes. Just go to school.
You will, whenever the time is right and the stars align right. I may have already met him, just don't know, and then I'm just gonna go about my business.
Because I think sometimes we try to force any type of relationship, whether it be Generation X, Y, or Z, or even baby boomers or before. But I'm gonna tell you, I call Jayda my warm cake. That's my nickname for her. A lot of people know that because when she was first born, I held on to her, and I love cake, right? And she just reminded me of a piece of warm cake. And still, even now, even though she's 20 years old, there are moments we share, and I'm like, that's my warm cake. But she's always been, even when she was not talking, or should I say, when she started talking and piecing words together. I remember teaching her to say her grace. And I would say, we would hold hands, and like I said early on, Owen would be deployed, or he was in Iraq or whatever. Sometimes it'd be just Jayda and I. And so I taught her to say her grace, and she would say, Lord, thank you for my food. Thank you. She would open her eye. Thank you for my chicken. Thank you for my applesauce. Jesus' name, amen. And I said, Jayda, you want to bless? You didn't bless. She said the peas, no blessing. If she didn't like it, she won't gonna bless.
And still don't like peas to this day. Still do not like peas to this day. It's just no.
Even then, she was just forthright, and so I was that way with her. So I think being able to talk about anything, I long for her to talk. I would see my friends with their children, even them, Jayda never really did stumble on words. I mean, at first, she used to jack some words up. I'm just going to keep it real. But once the flow started, she just started talking. And I was and I know that was a miracle of God, because based on physical medical reports, behavioral medical reports, Jayda was so far down. And so when I see her, your life always makes me glad, and it makes me happy, and I'm glad you're my daughter, and I'm glad that God allowed you to come through me. I've never felt like I owned you or controlled you. I knew that God gave you to me for a reason, and to your dad. And you're like both of us. Some of the things that get on my nerves about you is me. Jayda's a critical thinker, and you can't just show up, because when you teach somebody how to think critically and how to listen to the Spirit of the Lord, which that was the first thing. Jayda, what do you hear God saying? And that's another thing.
Important. That's important, because I know for me, whenever I hear something that just tells me not to do something, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna listen to it real good. If it says, don't walk to the ice cream store, all right, drive. Okay.
So what experience have you had to make you know to listen to God talk?
Sometimes events like parties at school, like if there's a voice in my head or God telling me, don't go.
Did that ever happen?
Yes, it happened. Matter of fact, second semester of freshman year, I was about to go to a party and it was about to be turned. Yes. But I'm glad I didn't go, because my voice said, just sell the ticket, just don't go. I said, okay. Someone's bus got stolen, there was shots fired, there was a fight. I said, I dodged a bullet. Literally. Dodged a bullet. I said, yep.
Yeah, you did. Thank God for looking over my child, Lord. But that installation of spirituality, okay, Christianity, yes, I said, we believe in the Christian faith. There's some tenets in the Christian faith and some beliefs that people have that I don't agree with. I don't think any religion is perfect, and even though I believe in Christianity, it sure ain't perfect. But it doesn't make me reject the God in me and teach Jayda. Owen and I have deliberately taught Jayda the things of God and allowed God to work that out through her life, because you can't control it. You can teach it, because the word says train up a child. I ain't trying to preach. You got to train them up, but you can't beat it into them. You can't force it into them. You can train them, and however God allows their life to grasp it. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's true. That is true. You can't just, you have to kind of flow into that. You can't just be, oh, I'm gonna do this. You have to, like you said, you have to flow into it. You can't beat it into somebody to understand. And with any relationship or anything like that.
In your relationship with God.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. And I ask Jayda all the time, how am I doing as a mom? Because she's
doing great.
Oh, I'm doing great today.
You're doing great, Terry.
Yeah.
You're doing great, Terry.
Back up,
Terry.
Back up.
You're doing great, Terry.
Today, I take that. I'm gonna take that for the rest of the day, no matter what. I'm gonna remember.
You did all right yesterday, but it's funny.
But I mean, with Jayda and I, we have moments where we're not equals when it comes to friend, but I wanted her to understand a level of what friendship can be, and I know she can only learn that from her peers. But it's certain things that I don't know. I've just tried. Thank you, Jayda. I love you, and I like you, and I know I'm not perfect as a mom. I know your dad isn't perfect as a dad, but you have a resilience, a work ethic, and that I know we didn't give you. I know that came from God, and I know you get tired of hearing me talk about purpose, mission, and passion. Jayda, you got to know who you're here to be. You got to know what you're here to do. You got to have the passion, and then because of the grace of God, you got to have compassion for somebody. I know you get sick and tired of it.
And it's okay, though, because you always have to know. You have to know what your purpose is, so you can just be like, hey, I know I'm going to do today. I know I'm going to do this. So it doesn't have to be like an effort. You just already know automatically.
So what would you say your purpose is?
Whew. This is the effort. I would say my purpose is
as to why you chose the career field you chose in healing.
I would say my purpose is to bring laughter and joy and healing and within the environment that I'm in for my work that I want to do. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. So what do you see in your future?
Change, greatness, joy, laughter, success, love.
Yes. You know what, Jayda? I'm so glad you use attributes. I'm so glad because that's part of what I've tried to instill in you, is that the future is not necessarily career choice or status or relationship status. It is those attributes, because those career choices change.
Exactly.
And you're still, because when you told me, you said, Mom, I think I'm here to heal. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, figure out what path to take.
Exactly.
And so the path you're choosing, what is it again?
My major is exercise science, and I'm going to be going to graduate school for a doctor of physical therapy.
Amen again. And should that not pan out the way that she chooses, because we're always open to the will of the Lord, that healing will always be the purpose. So no matter what the career choice is, you'll heal, you'll bring laughter, you'll bring peace. And I hope we've both done that today, to all the sister nieces and sister niece lovers all over the world, and our top 5, our top 5 countries, and our top 5 or 10 cities. We just want to make sure that we bring the Sister Nista spirit that thrives, the whole vibe of Sister Nista spirit, strength and moxie and class and royalty and authenticity and excellence, unapologetically, and I thank you, Jayda.
Oh, thanks, Mom, for having me on your show.
I don't know if this is going to be heavily edited or not, but I just thank you. Any words you want to say to the Sister Nistas and Sister Nista lovers?
Just keep being you, love yourself, and be yourself.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you heard it. You got Generation X, Y, and
Z.
So shout out to all my other Zennials. I love you guys, and all the generations. My parents' generation, the baby boomers, Generation X, Z, and now you got the Alpha coming on. Let's just work together, because we're here together, and we can't do without each other. So I love you guys. Love my daughter Jayda, my husband Owen. Without him, I wouldn't have her. We wouldn't have her together. So anyway, much love and peace.
You've been listening to Black Women's World Podcast, the BWWP, brought to you in part by TracyMac, Solutions for Life Institute, coaching and training services. No doubt you have enjoyed being in our world, and it doesn't have to stop here. Head on over to BlackWomen'sWorld.com. This is my personal invitation to you to stay connected with me on social media and more. I'd love to see you there, and I'm so grateful you came to be with me here. Invite someone else to join you in our queendom next time, so they can feel the vibe of our tribe of Sister Nistas and Sister Nista lovers too. Remember to be kind, be authentic, be generous, be excellent, be grateful, and while you're at it, go ahead and be extraordinary, because that's just what Sister Nistas do, on purpose, through mission, with passion and compassion. It's a Black woman's world, baby, and you, my Sister Nista, are proof. I'm your self-discovery companion, your professional peacemaker, and your host, TracyMac. Wherever you are in the world, may you love and be loved by somebody. Peace.